What does that mean? If it happens twice, that's a pattern. Third time's opportunity. Okay, so if Alex does something once to me, and that's the only time he ever does it, it's not much to be learned from that. But if he does it twice the same way, that's a pattern. So what do you think the odds he does it the same way a third time? Okay, pretty good. So the law of threes basically says first one is just the first one. Second one is a pattern. Third one is opportunity. Okay? So if I'm doing it, I pull, I see his reaction. I pull a second time, I see his reaction. On the third one, you anticipate the reaction, and then we either redirect or we do something different based on that reaction. So when I grab a hold of him through here, everybody clams up, nobody wants to get connected, so I go with threes. I lock on, I go 1, 2, and on the third one I don't pull, I yank it to the side. So when I'm here, I go in, 1, 2, and on the third, we cut it across. Because if he was prepared for a pull, I changed the angle. Okay? Now I get a roll. Through here, this hand is connected to the elbow. Okay? If I simply go here and up, that's one distance. But if I take this arm and I pull it out of the way, look how much more space I have onto my own bicep. Now through here, pinch your elbows together, and then I want you to pull your elbows to your own belly button. And if that doesn't work, then move your belly button to your own elbows. Okay? So when I'm here, we connect, I lock, I go up his body, pinch my elbows together, and then pull my elbows to my belly button. And if that's not working, push my belly button into my elbows. Okay? When we start talking about virtually any choke, when it gets at its best is when my hips get closer to his hips. Okay? That's pretty much all of them. If Alex hooks up a rear naked choke with no hooks in, it'll be good, but it becomes way better when he connects his hooks. If he goes for a guillotine, it'll be good, but it only gets really good when he connects and makes his leg touch my legs or his hips touch my hips. That becomes the power adder, the really significant one. I might be able to choke him with just my arms, but if I can make my hips go towards his hips, okay, that is ramping up the entire time. It's getting stronger as we go. So, knowing that that's the case, what happens if I move my hips towards him, okay, and I don't connect to Alex? What's he gonna do? He's gonna run away. So the goal is to connect to him as much as you can. Now I'll be honest, I suck at it. I suck at making the connection. So I have to rely on my hip pressure a lot more. So I'm in, 1, 2, cut, roll, open, lock, in, get all the way around. Try to put your hand into his armpit. Touch your elbows together, and then start to run your hips. Okay? With this pressure, because of my elbows going down, his head, I love me some neck cranks, is getting pushed this way, adding more crank to the mix. And then again, if I can make it to get my feet to touch his feet and lock him in place, absolutely that's the best. But if you can't, I can get enough pressure by here, pinching, and then again, I move my feet, but watch what my hips do. I pull my elbows in, and I literally use my stomach to push up against his head and make his neck go sideways. Okay. I'm fine. Like, I don't care. But people are like, oh, that was more of a crank. Like, what's happening? Tough guy. Hey. So one more time. We're using the split grip. I go in, 1, 2, tuck, roll, open, lock. Okay? Just think of, I'm really mad, I'm gonna flip him off. Okay? Pinch, elbows together, elbows in and flex. Run my chest into his head and run for those feet. If you're like me though, you won't make it. But the pressure still has to be there whether you can or not. That's where the power adders come in. Make sense? I did it. 1, 2, 3. Great. Yay, let's try it. Great. Break it. Break it. So get him off that base first.
Hey. All right.
Now roll.
We were practicing this yesterday.
Now run.
Here?
One of my favorite symbols. Lately I've been
So for me, the anacondas define my
Oh, okay, I
setup.
gotta roll you.
If the setup is no good, my anaconda's no good. So what I find is, especially if I get a hold of that head through here, okay, it's two violent yanks. I'm pulling Jake forward because one,
Oh, wait.
clam down and roll. So I want to go there you go. Oh, sorry. I mean, so when I go, those are fast. I'm not going like 1, 2. I'm going bah, bah. So I go bah, bah. There you go. I gotta hit the angle.
Ah, that's what we're
And then for me, the angle is immediate.
That's what we were doing wrong.
So while he's like,
Me!
what's the I don't want any rest for him when I make my play. Bam, bam.
Make sure she clears that arm again.
That's why I couldn't get it. Hey, huh?
And then run until he taps.
Yeah, so
So I go
Oh, the arm.
here,
There you go.
and then here. So at this point, I'm throwing my hips in,
Reach
but I'm
clear,
using my
pitch.
chest.
There you
yeah.
That's what it was.
go. Just around your legs.
Yeah.
That's what it was.
That's how I land it without needing to get my hips, my legs connected. Yes, great jet.
Did you stop your horse? I heard it. I was like, wait, what?
Wrestling like 101.
Yep.
Is that okay with the arm? Yeah, you got it. You push it, kind of let go, and then you readjust it.
It's like slip a little bit?
Yeah,
Because it was
I felt you readjust it.
Yeah, I have to readjust because I was almost losing it.
I wouldn't say it was a mistake. Just recognize where you were losing it.
I was
Well,
Yeah, I'm good. Just get to it.
Don't touch his arm anymore. Just go here.
Yeah.
Shoot.
That would be
How much
like
space?
so different.
Able.
You let that big so bury yourself deeper.
Oh no!
Let me just there you go on that bike.
Okay, because the arms.
Because the arm's out of the way.
Okay.
Now we're gonna shoot.
That's what I'm not doing it.
You should be able to get a full collar on top of your bicep. For myself, I always end up on my fingertips. So when I'm
You didn't drink the
squeezing,
water pool?
so now, because of that,
You drank it cold.
I have a full collar
Do you drink the
on
water?
top of my bicep.
Somewhere.
You
You
would take a lot of space.
Somewhere.
When you smoke in and your arms go a little bit.
Go back. Yeah. So now, right in the middle of your roll, because we have that 2-on-1. Right in the middle of the roll, pull his arm like you're pulling it over his head. So go back to your knees.
I like great.
So go 2-on-1. So now, right here, start your roll. Pull his arm. Now keep rolling and lock.
Try it again.
So by the time you get to your side, that choke should be fully engaged. So I'm setting up everything in this transition. Because that's when Jake's actually going to fight you the least.
Nice little detail.
He most people wait to the end because that's where they have stability. They wait till they kind of have a base and then they're like, oh, I'm going to pull my arms in. It's like while we're rolling, I'm already open.
Okay.
Ah, that's good.
I'm sorry?
This way.
Am I in dog range?
Go on, yeah.
Am I in splash zone?
Such a little different.
Pull it up. There you go.
Okay.
Woo,
I
here
can
you go.
really go.
Oh, I can hear it.
Yeah.
I think it's like when you're here.
just want my wife to hug you.
Yeah, it's fine.
Do it.
Whatever.
Just a fun. I miss it every time.
Oh, that's nice thinking, man, that looks smooth. I'm so happy you're here today, Alex. You're so cool, man.
Okay.
Not me. Hey, I'll be able to swallow
Hey.
tomorrow.
Huh?
It's those little arms, man.
No, see stars. I was almost like.
Do it again.
I don't know.
That's all.
Open them up 5.
Okay, bring me the water bottle.
Sure
Pull it
can.
to the side. Clear it, clear it. Pull it down, pull it down. There you go.
Apparently I'm the dog's chew
Whew, I thought that was normal.
Here's the arm. I can clear your arm.
That's super chill.
Yeah, I gotta clear
Right
it.
over here is tight. We didn't have.
All right.
No. The rest was like. Everything
I'd kill my wife.
So the next piece, we're gonna do 2 ways. Right? So one, we're gonna do it from the ground, super safe. And then the other one, we're gonna do the same move from standing. Still super safe, but not as safe.
We're gonna do a roll from standing?
Yeah, it's gonna be the same move. Okay. But this is some of the stuff I like. Okay. I don't like learning 2 different games. Okay. Problem is, if you have to walk around with a pocket full of tools, and every time a situation presents itself, you have to figure out what tool to use. Oh no, he's wearing pants. Pants means this tool. Oh no, he's wearing shorts. That means this tool. He's right-handed, that means this tool. He's left-handed, that means that. How many tools am I carrying? Okay? I like tools that I get to use no matter what. Okay? I find it to be faster. Okay? At the same time, when we look at championships, not individual races, we look at championships. Okay? The team that can consistently, they don't have to be number 1 every time. They just have to be in the top 3, top 5. You know, talking about like the NASCAR drivers and the like. Okay? You look at some of the drivers, and yes, they'll win a race, but how many times did they crash? Okay? That's not impressive. Yeah, you got 1, but how many times did you burn? Okay? Championships tend to get won by people who can win a couple races here and there, but they're always like in the top 5. They're always consistently doing good things. Even if it's not the best move always, they're doing a good move always. And that's, my pocket's full of good moves. Good moves that work as much as they can anywhere. So, I'll use Alex again because I already got it once. Sorry. So, I'm gonna do the same 2-on-1, okay? But as I tuck him through, I wanna look at his other arm. My right hand's gonna stay on, and my left hand's gonna find the far side elbow. So, when I'm here and I lock him up, I go 1, 2, 3. As I tuck under, find the opposite elbow. Okay? So right now, it's like I've made a straight jacket with his arms. Okay? Now I've stopped here just so you guys can see. Don't stop. Okay? Somebody famous once said, objects in motion tend to stay in motion. Okay? So don't stop. But holding on to the elbow, not his wrist. Hold on to his elbow so that from here, I'm going to continue rolling. Okay? But right here, if Alex wants to get to his knees, it's his elbow that stops him. Okay? So now I turn and I keep that elbow high. So now I flatten him out. And there's the choke. He's crossed up the whole time. The far side elbow is my control. He cannot get to his knees if I play with his elbow. I'm pulling it up the whole time. It's the reason why he can't leave. The other elbow is the reason why he's choking. So the first elbow I had is the reason why he's choking. The second elbow is the reason why he can't leave. So when I put those two together, and which is another major thing in the game, okay? My style that I play with a lot is to put me behind your elbows as quickly as I can. If I'm behind your elbows, I can control you. I don't care who you are, what you do, whatever. If I can get behind your elbows, that means I can control your angles. If I get to control your angles, then your fate's in my hands. Okay, so one more time. I latch on, 2-on-1, open him up. Right here, I'm literally looking at his other arm. So as soon as I roll, I've already captured the other elbow, okay? So now I pull. This one I'm just holding. I'm pulling this elbow because I need to get up. So my momentum is gonna carry me through, but right here, if I don't control this elbow, Alex will get up. It's the bottom elbow that I pull up so I can flatten him back out. And then it's like a cow catcher finish at the end. I put my body weight on him. I kind of pull back on the choking arm. Partner, be ready because your arms are crisscrossed. Tapping is hard to do. So either vocally tap, kick the floor, do whatever you gotta do, but your fingers probably aren't gonna do a very good job of touching your partner. So just kind of be ready. Now, go slow, but the faster you can go, the easier it gets. Okay, this is definitely one. As long as you know what your targets are, the faster you can get to them, the better you can roll, the better the whole thing exists. Make sense? All right, let's try. Ma'am?
Yeah.
Can I ask you a question?
What?
How often, if I tell you to calm down, do you calm down? So do you think that works on Loki?
Good job, man. It took a second, I was going through a song in my head, but once I got the motion going, it was pretty. Yeah.
Do you need assistance?
Elbow, right? You said?
Get
Here?
up and give side control.
And swing this one.
Yeah, use him to pull yourself up. Now, see how he rolled over.
Okay.
Pull the bottom elbow up. Make him stay on his back.
Bottom elbow up. Ah, and then come around. Is that it?
Now, put his back on the floor.
Oh, God.
But stay on top.
Oh, like this? To this one? Okay, let me try it again. Are you okay, honey?
Get in the right spot. Okay, go ahead. We'll get it.
If you can keep both.
Ready? Up
Yeah.
here.
Well, I mean,
Control here. Come up. Right? Did you say come? And just pull?
To the other side.
There you go.
I'm like,
And I go like this? But I can't connect.
that might have been a slight more like.
Cut the corner?
Use your words.
Cut the corner. Are you okay? So cut the corner?
You're letting me go in my elbow.
I just gotta keep rolling, like keep stopping. Like,
Okay.
just pull on
We're
with
saying you everything for that. Okay, so
Yeah, I got you.
here, turn,
Grab the elbow.
grab elbow, come up,
That's good.
and
Yes.
turn.
Yep.
Oh, snap.
Elbow goes across. Now drop your
So,
head.
okay, I got it.
Literally look at the arm across his body.
Your turn, honey.
Okay, so right now, it's gonna be your left arm, that's gonna be the one that
Yeah,
punches
yeah,
across.
you're
Oh,
right.
right.
So as you start to roll, reach for it and hook, yep. So now you've got the cross, now get your knees. Now walk, remember what we talked about, when we start talking about the chokes. When your hips get closer to his hips,
Yeah,
this is when the power starts to
that's
set
what
in.
it is.
Yep, it's
Right.
out, put your chest on it.
If you don't touch your momentum, you kind of roll back.
Well, I was trying not to
So
stumble.
once your chest is there, you actually don't need your left hand.
I was trying not
So now,
to
drive
hurt
in
you.
I know, I got you.
and pull up.
Go ahead and try.
Like I said, really all chokes work with that one basic fundamental. The choke can be good, but when my hips get
I know,
closer to your hips,
I gotta
the
go
pressure
stop getting
grows.
connected.
You can get it on me real quick. I'll do it like real fast, just like.
think they said he wanted him on his side.
Yeah, if his, well, he had it, and if he would, his hip would have kept going.
Yeah,
that would have, that would have
This is
passed
just a
out
pinning
before.
combination from high school
Oh, it's slow.
wrestling.
It's one of those things you feel the carotid collapsing. It's like final time now, by the time
Yep,
you
yep,
hit,
yep.
you got over.
That one,
it'd be out.
once it
Once
got
back.
over, it was out.
I was watching it, and if it
Now,
kept-
and then
if
drop
I
your
let
weight.
it keep
Get
coming,
used to,
I would have gone out.
get
Yeah.
used to feeling comfortable enough.
You wanna try again?
To sink your weight
Is
into
it the
it.
same way as me? It's like you see the hip, you're like, oh no!
Yeah.
Oh.
Now, push in, start flattening
Your
out.
out is wide.
Now, look up.
Oh,
Okay,
sorry.
and then through here. Watch my body.
Here.
And then hold.
See, as you're doing that, your weight's coming off.
Yeah, I know.
Right.
Let me see something
You're
real
not
quick.
fat enough.
You might
She's
just-
not hard.
Yeah.
It needs to be across.
Let me just
Okay.
do me.
Yeah.
Here.
Yeah.
So we did the.
Okay. Can I do that? It needs to be across.
As soon as you start doing
That's the one?
Yeah. Hold it. Hold.
Okay.
I
So-
really put my chest in this.
So, biggest part you gotta think about, especially with chokes. Okay.
Oh, no, I.
This is predominantly a compression. It kind of gets your neck a little bit, but most of it is just limiting how many oxygen.
Grab that
you
arm.
get in your lungs.
Ah!
Now,
You're worried too much about
how long
the other
can you
choke.
hold your
Here.
breath?
Push it back down.
So now the
Here.
question is, when I
Push it
put
back down.
compression in,
There you go.
But I
each
lose
person
it
is
here.
gonna be slightly different.
Because he's too
How
light.
much comfort are they willing to overcome? And then,
Oh.
where were you at?
So
with
when
your
you're,
breath? If you took a pretty good breath, I may be squeezing on you for 30
You're gonna look for that
seconds.
elbow and grab
But
it.
we gotta sink and hold. Keep the weight in. Just know that no matter what, I'm in a good pinning position. You're not getting out. I can just sit here and hold you, and I know that your health meter is just going down. So if it takes me 30 seconds or 5 seconds,
See how he snaps?
I'm fine. I'm gonna sit on top of you, and eventually. Now, every time I wiggle,
It feels like a
we may be somewhere.
I feel like.
Hey, jump right now.
I don't know, it feels like a full choke to me as well as a.
Look,
There's a lot to it.
and watching it the entire time. So when you scoop, you're looking for. Yes.
And then you scoop it
And
up.
then you
Can I
keep
do it
going.
again, babe?
Because what you're doing is I'm watching, you're letting go of the arm, you're trying to do this. You need to forget about this movement and
Yeah.
reach over.
Okay, can I do it again?
Yeah, of course.
Now, sink. Yep.
That was good.
You.
All right, so now, I'll leave this one up to you as to if you want to try it or not. It's the same technique, just played from a different angle. Okay? And this is where, like I said, there's a lot of my takedowns aren't like real. I mean, what most people would consider like, I'll do a double leg, I'll do a single leg. But man, I love attacks that can get you to the ground in the same process. So, you know, I love like when they go for whizzers and I can get a hold of their head with like snap downs or the like. So if I'm here, let's say Alex got an underhook. Oh no! So we throw our whizzer in play. Okay. Now through here, we take our whizzer to bring his head down low. So now this becomes my connection. I'm in a feed, and there's our first grip, the arm being pulled across. Okay. So now I could roll and I could look for his opposite arm, but every time I do from here, because we're standing, his hips gain way too much power. So by the time we go down and he throws his hips, I don't have the control that I would like. Okay. So be careful of this move here this way. So this is my typical setup in through here. I snap him down. I get a hold of his head. Oh, there goes that arm. So now what I'm going to do is I'm going to go for that leg. Okay? Doesn't even have to be big. So all I'm going to do through here is I'm going to drop and cup his leg. Okay? Now I'm going to roll. Now before I used the far side elbow. This time I'm going to use his leg. So when I roll, his leg becomes how I get up. It's my connection to him. Okay? But then as I circle, because I said the first arm is the choke, the second one is what keeps him from turning into me. Okay? So when I pick his leg up, he can't turn his hips. So when I get into side control, he's kind of twisted. That wasn't even my good side. Yeah. Again, this is straight up high school wrestling with a twist. Okay? But you have to think, high school wrestling's origin is in submissions. That's how it started. And then it hit a fork in the road. One side went pro wrestling, okay, where they said, hey, we're beating each other up. Why are we doing that? Let's make some money. And if we make the match fake, we can make more money. And we get less beat up. That's a legit side that it went. The other side said, we need to go at each other a little bit harder to make it so where we can train harder. But the best way to do that is let's pull some of those submissions out. Okay? And so ultimately it hits this little fork in the road. But unfortunately the bad part is there wasn't a third road where they said, well, let's also just stay where we are and play the game that we're playing right now. So it makes this big divergence where one side said, let's make all the submissions fake. And then the other side said, let's be more about the controlling aspects of it. But when you get into your submission mindset, high school wrestling has submissions all over the game. And then they just have these weird little rules, like I can't lock my hands together unless I'm in pinning combinations. Yeah, they just put these weird little rules on there, but its history is steeped in submissions. And so the first time I took my son to wrestling practice, okay, I love martial arts. So, and the part that drives me nuts is when somebody's like, I've trained in another art, and they come in and they go, oh, well, this is the way we do it. Like, I'm in your house, I'm gonna learn the way you do it. So that's what we did. I just watched, did the practices, shut my mouth, and then when we would go back to the gym, in our time, I would go, okay, Christian, let's practice what you just did, and then I'll show you what I saw. And then that's how Christian in the very early days started blending his wrestling and everything, because we kind of did it from day one. So again, as we're coming in, this time I'm good on my good side. Okay, I go whizzer, bang, I break it down. Now I go to that front headlock. So now through here, I shove that arm aside, I roll. Okay, it's not even a very hard takedown. You just have to feel comfortable when you go down. So this leg now becomes how I pull myself up. So I roll here, and now I lift his leg to twist him. That's where the pin would come in wrestling. As his shoulders get more narrow to the floor, that's the pin. Okay, but because we put our jiu-jitsu twist, the more his shoulders go down, the tighter the choke becomes. Okay, and then with Christian, we started looking at it going, hey, although you're legally not supposed to choke, there are a lot of chokes that you can legally do, and this is one of them. Because I haven't broken any rule in wrestling. I have a head and I have an arm. In wrestling, I can't grab his head by itself. Like our guillotines and things of that nature, I can't just grab a hold of his head. But I can do a head and arm all day long. A lot of pinning techniques are side chokes. I see a lot of kids go unconscious in wrestling, matches and the like. So, again, I'll let you decide if you want to try it from standing. Okay, it's not as scary as it looks. Biggest part is as you're going down, okay? If I'm going down, look away. Don't continue to look at the mat as you're going down, okay? And certainly, as you're falling, don't look the other way, okay? Let's give it a shot. 1, 2, 3.
Oh,
Come on.
no, I had height difference.
That was great. There you
I'll do you can do it high.
Is it last class or there?
So now, drop to your left shoulder, grab his leg, roll, right up. So now, right here, pull his leg to me as you step in. Now look up.
Okay.
One more second.
So now, grab his head. Yep. So now, just like before, we'll use this hand
Oh, wow.
So grab his arm and shove it across. Okay? Now, just to make it super easy.
Light bulb.
Yeah, it's all this one
Now,
here.
you put your head inside this pocket, and with this hand, grab that leg. Now, all you're gonna do now is
And then laying down, triangle.
I swear, I don't even like.
now run towards me. Use that leg. Use that leg to pull
Use
you
my
up.
arm to pull you
Beautiful.
on top.
Okay, now, I like to use this.
I want it.
Keep that same grip and just pull this leg this way. Drop your weight.
Now you
That's it.
put you up.
Now, as much as possible.
So I can't really, yeah, I can't really reach, but as long as I
It's
hold on to
very
this.
difficult to switch
Think
that
like that.
grip up in the middle.
Kinda like when you,
Once I have
kinda like when you do that.
Remember that
Yeah,
you were talking about how certain positions where your hand is for me, it's
Usually,
really
like,
hard
if
to
I'm
hear.
trying to fight
Here,
somebody,
it takes from here.
Correct. Pushing is always easier, but that grip in the beginning stops.
to get it.
So ultimately,
But
I play the first grip, which is where I need the power.
Yeah.
And then when I do it later, I don't need that.
I was trying to.
Gotcha.
Fine, I was just making sure that I could tap with the foot.
Fancy. And this is how Alex gets his next one.
I know. It's deep enough.
Oh, yeah.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
That's what we're going to.
Yeah.
Kinda
Connie's on vacation.
I find it easier from standing.
Advance the
Yeah, much easier. Yeah, I need to keep the leg.
See, look at Jake, man. He just. By the time he hits the ground, he's already in position.
Sorry. Almost killed your wife.
More than 20. Sorry.
It's alright, man.
More of a play.
Sock star.
Don't make fun of me.
It's a little star.
So now, try it again. Keep the leg for as long as you can. Because what I find is, so when I'm here and I roll, and I've got
It's like that.
and of course I got the ball. So if I'm here and I've got his leg, so then right here, he can't. There's nothing he's gonna do right now. And
No,
this
I felt
actually
like I
helps
lost
me
it.
get up.
You did.
Because I'm pulling him to me.
Put 'em up.
It
And then what's
was,
gonna happen?
it was more of a.
Well,
No, it was more of the crank.
I lost
And then
it.
I was feeling, it was manageable.
I lost
It's kind of hard
See,
to
I was
get
twisting him.
Yes.
Yes. So I'm using his leg as I'm coming up. I'm pushing his leg to the other side, and I'm literally twisting him in the process.
There you go.
You said you, it's harder to hit.
Yeah.
You
That was good. When you flip that hip over.
Well, that's when I start doing the other elbow.
I only remember like the
Because
Darce.
when they're on the ground and I start making for the
1 second,
knee,
I'll see the stars.
it's hard for me to find it. But
Which star do you
as I
see?
started training jiu-jitsu, I
Yeah.
did a lot of choke. Where as soon as I tuck, I reach to the far side arm to create my confidence. And then I start going, all right, so now when I roll, let's find that far side arm instead of hunting for his leg.
I feel so
And that was another version of
Give
it.
him peanut butter.
So,
Yeah.
but yeah, that was, like I said, the early days when Christian was in middle school.
I feel like slow.
He went to his first practice. One of his coaches was jiu-jitsu and MMA friendly. The other one was like,
Jiu-jitsu and friendly?
What?
What's that?
That's kind of like a
what?
oxymoron, jiu-jitsu.
You're a moron.
No, jiu-jitsu and MMA friendly.
Oh, but
In the early days, if you did jiu-jitsu and MMA, nobody liked you.
That's okay.
That's,
When-
you know why? Because you put your shins on the inside of their thighs. They're like,
When
that hurts.
you talk
That's
to the
okay, I don't like
wrestlers,
people anyway.
they did not like you. When you talk to the judoka, they did not like you.
That's okay.
When you talk to the other martial artists, they did not like you.
Yeah.
So,
They don't like the ground.
so when I went into it, and I found this to be comical, because I'm a martial artist. I like all of it, and I like the history, I like the philosophy of life. So when I walked in, I wanted to talk wrestling, not jujitsu. So I was talking to him about Fila, I was talking to him about, and he's like, Fila has nothing to do with wrestling, that's a shoe manufacturer. Like, wow. Federation Federation of International Lutador Association was, at least at that time period, was the governing body of Olympic wrestling.
Is it luchador?
No, lucha, or fight.
Luchador, okay.
I think it's
I thought it
like
meant lucha, like the Mexican wrestling.
Yeah, it's
But-
Mexican wrestling.
Until a embezzlement scandal shut them down, FILA was the
FIFA.
exactly, because that's football.
Right.
So that's
And
so FIFA was the Federation of International Football Association. That was soccer, and then FILA was the wrestling, and they were the ones. If on the international level they changed their rules, then the IOC, the International Olympic Committee, would be the one that would change their rules almost immediately after. But then FILA got caught with an embezzlement issue with like the head honcho dude, and so FILA pretty much almost lost power and dissolved at that time period. But you know, I found it comical that here I am. I'm trying to talk wrestling to the wrestling coach, and you know he's like back in Cali in Christian's middle school, and the other coach, you know, was basically like, dude, I love MMA, and so we kind of hit it off. But the other coach was like completely dismissive of jiu-jitsu and MMA. But again, I walked in the room to learn wrestling. I didn't walk in the room to learn jiu-jitsu. I didn't walk in the room to do anything else. I'm real big on, if I'm in your house, I'm your guest, I will do it your way. Even if I disagree, I'll do it your way, because more than likely, I don't understand.
Right.
So like I said, it used to bother me all the time. I would teach a move, and then somebody would be like, yeah. Online, John Danaher says I should go this way. And I'm like, yeah, you can. Like, but the next move in line I want to do is this. What did he do in this video? Well, he did this other thing. There you go. I had a different exit strategy than he did, so my grip had to match my exit. Like,
Oh.
so, and that's what I'm saying. So when I go into like a judo class, I don't go in jiu-jitsu and do it this way. I just shut my mouth. I do it their way. I try to train it to the best of the way they're teaching it, get a better understanding of what's happening. And then when I leave,
So I need to stop going to other people's gyms and go, well, Dave says.
then when I leave, you know, I'll go, Melissa, can you believe they were, you know,
They said be violent.
but you know, we'll do the trash talk in private.
Dave said great sort of game.
I go over to Lee and go, Dave said.
Dave said be violent.
All right, this great partners.
Dave said the rest.
So Dave says tap to tap.
That's like position over submission.
Well, I mean, if it's not working,
Dave
don't
does
tell me.
No, we leave that in the family.
Did I tell you that? Dave does encourage our young
They
son
said
to
there's
check
millions
his
of
mom.
callers.
I do not. I do not.
So that's what I'm telling everybody.
I don't teach oil checking. Now, transmission work. Alright, so let's start off internal, and we'll go from there.
Yeah, you go. I'll take this corner.
Drilling or fluid or what?
Just blow it. Kill me, please.
And there's no like
I need my birds and stuff.
anything you want arguments, you want to go live
No.
or
10 seconds.
Just roll.
no knees, no legs.
Oh, I feel.
No surveillance.
No, seriously, you wanna roll?
Knees, no legs.
Okay.
You can't bust my nose, my shit.
Oh,
Gouge him in the eye.
no. Okay.
I can roll, but I don't wanna.
Go! Turtle. Okay, I'll turtle. So, I used to fight full contact. Oh no. I used to fight and then I started jiu-jitsu. And then I would tell people, I thought I'd been hit hard. My top 5 strikes in my life were wrestling.
Oh no!
Not when we were supposed to be hitting each other. What's up, Grace?
It's okay.
You change your Instagram yet? Is it happy, happy, joy, joy?
I got president.
You need to make one that's like totally a trick. You're stalking one. What's your stalking one? What's that?
Stalking one?
I didn't hear her.
Then it wouldn't be a stalking one if everybody knew.
Oh, the one you use to stalk other people. I thought it was the one you use to let people stalk you. That's the happy, happy, joy, joy account. bare knuckle. They were.
If you go into the coffee account, it's not real. That's how you get the dirt on people.
But no, you gotta create the fake account that when they look it up, they're like, oh, this Grace girl.
Use my entire birth.
This Grace girl sucks. Like every video, she's just getting her ass kicked.
You're like, no.
I can post my state finals match. I don't scare.
Betty?
I didn't do that good.
Clayton Bigsby, how did you make it on my square? Get off my square,
3,
Bigsby!
2, 1, time.
Let's go to the
Other person down.
Get off my square!
So I've had my broken 4 times. Blood streaming out. It took about a month to stop. I got kicked in the face.
I can't think.
I thought I broke the Go! Because when I got hit my eye, my whole face went numb. When I'm touching my face, it wasn't there. I legit thought that my cheekbone was so good. And then when I was touching it, my hand was bloody. So then I went to the bathroom and I see this half moon cut underneath. And I'm literally looking at myself touching, going, I see myself touching, but I can't feel it. Like my whole face felt like it was caved in. Loki. And then I'm not even sure breaks, how many fingers or the like.
Come on back.
I just stopped counting. Yeah. 50 seconds. I have permanent damage to my left shin.
No, I know. I'm trying to find a way to break it down. There's no way.
So walk this over here, like up here. Start scooting hips away. Feel my leg. Start scooting hips away. Now, go.
Oh, you hit the Jake from State Farm. Hey, what are you doing?
Now,
Oh, you asshole.
that
How
whole
could
area,
you?
I can press into it and the indention will stay for about about 2 minutes.
Oh man, this that one.
Hey, we traded squares. How'd that happen?
Time. I find somebody new.
Where?
Yeah, I didn't go to the doctor on that one either.
Oh, my head's full.
I got home. I was so excited. I was telling
Not you, the other one, the brown one.
about the math that I was doing and things of that
I'm
nature.
dying.
Jenny, need
Okay,
it.
do this. I'm going to show you what I did. And then we touched
Oh.
shins and fell on the ground and cried. All right, find somebody new. Find somebody new.
I'm gonna take one now.
No, great. No, I'm not doing mouth to mouth. It's not happening.
You don't have to do mouth to mouth.
I got
You
you,
don't have to
bro.
do mouth to mouth. It's just compressions
You ready to
only.
give him mouth to mouth?
Absolutely
Yeah.
not.
I just smelled it, bro.
So that's, I'm just warning you right now. If you crash, that's when the oil check's gonna happen.
Woo!
Like, you're gonna be like, what? No,
Nice.
whoa! And then you'll be awake. Here we go.
You're supposed to be
Go!
I don't care if I'm in time.
Like, I was watching one, he's doing a squat. He's got the bar up like this, and he's coming in, and his spotter, he's like, no, I need help. And the guy comes up and goes, whoa!
That's one way to get that squat up.
Oh no. Did he die?
No. I don't know what happened. I saw some guy demonstrating something he called a paper clip, but it wasn't a choke. It was like back control where he pinned the elbow and it was nuts. It was like the poor girl was just strangling that girl. Yo. Okay. What?
Love you.
Really?
Yeah.
Are you calling me over?
No.
The stuff.
What?
You sure?
Yeah.
1 minute.
Hope for the best. Hope for the best.
I heard that one before, Charlie.
What?
Tell it again. Hope for the best, prepare for the worst.
Put your legs between you and him. Don't let him get in. Good job with that.
Come on. Good thing. Turn into me.
Jamie, is that you farting over there?
No! We would be laughing.
Stop.
Well, usually it's
20
me, so
seconds.
I know where it's coming from.
Come on, you can grab a bit in this. Come on.
Come on, Chambers. Move those hips, son.
Hold up, hold up.
Hold the phone, Lucas.
Hold up, hold up.
Get it, Alex.
Alright, go.
Fun, dude. Get it. Yes. Ah. So happy for a minute.
I'm turtle.
So I mean, does this
Yeah.
movie look like I have abs?
Yes.
Maybe if you paint them. Looks like an ab.
Huh?
Looks like an ab.
I'll take it.
I've been in like 2 weeks.
Six pack is I have a six pack.
It's just under a little
It's a
bit of
different
fat.
package.
It's in a different package. You have a fluff pack.
And even at my best, I only had a 4-pack.
There's only one picture of proof that I had a six pack.
Even on my
It's sitting at
best.
my belly button.
I've never had a
I think it was also 19.
I've never had abs. I'm proud of it too.
I had 4. I had two of the upper and 2 of the mid. I never got the. I never got the ones around the belly button to show.
Those are the hardest though.
Yeah.
Which,
I don't laugh.
the cum gutters are the hardest.
I don't laugh.
Wait, I should call them in public.
Roll. Roll.
That's reading word for him. She's like, look at the cum gutters on that guy. What are
Hey,
you talking
I'm
about?
starving. Now I'm trying to think what's helping for you.
Jamie, cover your ears. You give it something. Cover your ears, Jamie.
This is why, at least he doesn't repeat me this in school.
He doesn't. He usually corrects us.
Yeah.
There you go,
Actually,
Jamie.
no, he uses.
Actually, no, he
Show,
did
show,
tell a kid
show,
that,
show,
he
show,
told a
show.
kid he was gonna snatch him by the neck if he didn't leave him alone, and I got a phone call for it. I'm like, well, he's in jiu-jitsu, and it's just common terminology for the professor. Snatches or blah, 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 blah. She's like, oh, okay, and he know all of it up.
Yeah.
Keep moving, Chambers. Hitchhike for freedom.
30 seconds.
Yep, 30 seconds, right now.
I'll teach you the Rican savior here.
Come on, you gotta get your phone.
Where's Matthias?
It's your turn to watch.
They did the one class earlier this week, and then.
Oh, so he's tired.
Oh, you're gonna go for the arm right
Time.
Good job.
All right, let's take a quick pick, and then those who want to keep rolling.
Come here, take a picture.
Floor is still open.
There you go, Jamie. Good job. Congratulating you.
Yeah.
You gotta earn this freedom.
That's how it is.
What's up, buddy?
You don't even know.
Hey, sir. You're supposed to come to me.
He did. He just came to you first.
Sit down. Alright, you guys ready?
Loki's song.
Yeah.
This is Loki's song. Oh, George, tell me.
Look at that smile, though.
Yeah, sure, let's do it.
Look at that smile.
Oh. Huh? That's all the clock out works.
Fucking,
I mean, good all day.